we always talk about boxing. I've got a few things because I don't know much about it, and UFC.
Yeah.
I was just asking you about. You said there was a big event this weekend just passed.
Darren too.
Darren too. You told me he was gonna.
He was the favourite. I think he was like 3-1 favourite. Obviously in London. George Masvidal, however you pronounce it. He's a bit of an unknown quantity. He's been out of the sport for a year, but he's very dangerous. I mean, he used to do like the backyard fighting with Kimbo Slice on there.
Oh, okay.
You remember them fights, like the bare knuckle? So he's like, you know, he's about that life. But he looked in very good shape. But yeah, Till was the favourite. Till's very big for that weight, and should really have dealt with him. But I don't know. Like for me, like. Obviously put him down for first round, but he does seem very hesitant when he could be doing more, if you know what I mean. And his stance, like he is open to that, you know, to that left hook, and boy.
It was because after you told me, I just went back to watch it, and I watched it, and the shot that dropped him, he didn't see that coming because the guy changed stance again, and just landed. The thing about that UFC thing, what I've noticed is that, like with like this boxing, anything could happen more in UFC than in boxing.
Oh, definitely. Well, he's out cold, and then you're landing a lot more shots. It's brutal, bro. And then Masvidal's, he knocks out, he sparks up Leon Edwards out in the
Who's this guy?
Backstage.
What's his name?
Leon Edwards, guy from England who just fought. God, what's the guy? God, I forget the guy's name. He's like Swedish.
Are they the same weight?
Yeah. So they just fought. He had just won. Yeah, and he walks past George Masvidal, and he's like, I says something like, "I'll fight you, and I'll see you in July or whatever." George follows up and just pops him in the face 3 times, and there's a bit of a, you know, commotion, and Leon Edwards' eye was bleeding and that. So he just got up, popped
Really?
him.
Did he get arrested for it?
Nah, nothing.
So what, is that stage for a next fight for
Possibly.
him?
I think he's higher up the rankings now. He's probably second in line for a title fight.
So
it'll be Colby Covington versus the Nigerian Nightmare.
Oh, Nigerian. What's his guy's name?
Usman, whatever.
Now you got my attention. Nigerian, is he good?
He's wicked. You should watch the interview he did with Joe Rogan the other day. He's not only good. He's a very clever, like, I don't know, just a likeable, like a good guy.
Really?
Yeah, man.
So what is it?
So he's gonna fight Colby Covington. This annoying little guy who, like, basically he's trying to rile people up. So he's like does like the I support Trump, and like acts up, kind of like basically plays the dickhead. I hope Usman like smashes him up, and then could fight George. But yeah, that should put him third in the rankings now, because Till was third, so he's basically should replace him in the rankings.
So who did Usman beat to win the title?
He fought Woodley, the longest reigning welterweight champion.
So where is he in the rankings now?
Well, he would have. I'm not sure. He maybe dropped down to like fifth. Something. I don't know how it works. To be honest, I can't really say. But all I know is Dana White does not like Tyron Woodley. Just they've had friction. You know, they've both said things in the past. So Dana won't be doing him no favours. He doesn't want him to have the belt back.
Oh, okay.
Like, he wants that belt to go to someone else. He's he's always made it, you know, clear that he's not a massive fan of Woodley. Till for me, I think he should move up in weight, because I think because he's got such a big cut. He I don't know. He just had last 2 fights, like Woodley. He didn't do anything, barely threw a punch, and then obviously got lost. And this one, it seems like he got a little bit complacent, and he seems quite hesitant. I'm not sure his, all respect to that team in Liverpool, but it's the standard in America. So if you take to like I don't know, John Jones's gym, whatever it's called, you've got various top level fighters there. So like you've got like high level sparring, high level jiu-jitsu, etc., etc. I'm not sure you've got that in England, because I mean, probably the best fighters in England in the UFC are at shoot fighters in South London. It was unexpected, but mate, when you're wearing them little gloves and you get touched,
it's true.
Yeah, but he was out. He was out, bro. They had like options on them.
I saw that. So after you spoke to me, I was just expecting him to have won.
Don't get me wrong, it wasn't an easy fight, but not many people thought.
Who was winning the fight before he got knocked?
Till. I would say Till won the first round. The second round, George started to figure out what Till was doing, and kind of disrupt him. And basically, what you said before, he kept kind of resetting and coming at different angles, kind of confusing him a little bit. And then just that, where Till's so big, he doesn't really cover up like that. He kind of just has them out, like, because he knows he's got the distance advantage, and he's just got round it, hasn't he? He just timed it, so he hasn't got time to come to bring it back to protect himself, and bang, with those little gloves, and then he gets caught with one on the way down. Yeah. Which he's already out by that point. Yeah. But yeah, those knockouts in the UFC are brutal. Right.
One of the thing I like about, well, I don't know much about it. Like any other boxer would say, the only thing they don't like is when it looks as if they're just playing around. Yeah. But that takes a lot of skills in there. To be fair,
it does. I mean, I'm not a massive. We're British, aren't we? We like that. We don't really have wrestling in our. Well, nobody wrestles, do they? In America, it's like they love it. But if you've got a wrestler or a grappler, like say a grappler who's trying to break your arm, like John Jones, where not only will he try to break your arm, if he's got you pinned down, his elbows are nasty, so he's looking to cause damage. But these people are winning rounds because they've controlled him on the bottom, and he's just sort of laid on him and that. Nah, bro, ain't for me. It's a little bit, boring.
One of the main advantages I like about UFC is that because it's one entity, the best always end up fighting the best.
Oh, they do.
And you don't get that with these heavyweights right now.
The politics in boxing nowadays is just so disappointing. And even though it's such an exciting time, the money and the politics, it's ruining it. So yeah, you're right. I mean, there shouldn't be four champions in one way. No one really knows, unless you're undisputed, who the best is. Whereas UFC, you'll know. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, I've gone off the UFC over the last couple of years, but they've really kind of followed the hype fights, if you know what I mean. They've gone where they spent so much money. When they got bought out, they bought them for ridiculous amount of money. I forget how much it was, but it was well over the price. So they're really looking for the McGregor kind of fights, the kind of hype fights where they generate a lot of money. So they've moved away from a hype fight. Say Brock Lesnar fighting Daniel Cormier. Brock Lesnar hasn't been in the UFC for years. Last time he was in there, he got his ass whooped, and he got caught juicing again. So for them to jump and put that ahead of the queue as the next potential fight for Daniel Cormier, kind of shows the way it works with rankings. Rankings don't mean as much as it used to. So I've gone off that. But I do agree with you in the fact that yes, it is one. It's one belt, isn't it? It's one belt. Occasionally they'll do an interim belt if somebody is injured or what have you, but boxing, the politics, it's different.
But I did say one entity, but it's not really. They've got a rival, Bellator, is it?
Yeah.
His own.
Yeah, but Bellator is UFC. They're still number one. Bellator.
So all the best fighters.
Pretty much. I mean, you've got a few. McDonald went over there. They've got a few good fighters, but it's more kind of they do Rampage versus Chuck, not Rampage versus Chuck, Tito versus Chuck rather. Oh, yeah. They're doing them gimmick fights.
I thought that was under Golden Boy.
Was that under Golden? Actually, no. Sorry, I'm getting confused, aren't I? But Tito did fight. He has fought for Bellator for years. He's only recently left there.
Talking about Bellator, is that they've got these two British black guys fighting?
No, they fought recently.
DALEY.
Michael Page and.
Have they fought already?
Yeah, they fought already.
Who won?
MVP.
Was it a knockout?
No, he just won on points. DALEY didn't really want to fight, and just kind of he even took him down at one point.
Who took who down?
Paul DALEY tried to take down Michael Page, so he's kind of resorted to those kind of tactics. Yeah. But
he's not really taking down. He's a striker.
Yeah, because obviously he was he looked a little bit worried about the stand-up. I think Daley, he's been around a long time, and back in the day, and even now, his left hook, he's very dangerous. But Michael Page is so long and he's so awkward, and like his kicks is.
So did he win it fair and square?
Yeah, you'll think he won it fair and square. To be honest with you,
did you watch it?
No, I only watched the highlights.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I only watched the highlights on that one.
Why did you watch it? You just.
Do you know what? I think
there's
I was
not
busy
much
that.
interest. When did they fight?
Do you know what? Was it even on UK TV?
I don't think I didn't even know they fought.
No, I don't think it was. If it was on Sky or whatever, or
So was it a massive event, you reckon?
It should have been bigger than it was. It shouldn't have been in America. God knows why they put an English grudge match like that. When if you had put that on, at Wembley Arena or somewhere like that, because I went to one of the last ones, and it was packed to the rafters. But they put it in, God knows, some part of America where those people wouldn't have understood that those two British guys had a grudge against each other, but they'd been like sort of winding each other up for a while. So no, not as big as it should have been, but yeah, Michael Page, he's sick. And to be fair, Daley's left hook, some of the knockouts he's had in the past, his fight with Nick Diaz has got to be amongst one of my top fights of all time. That was
Nick Diaz? Is that the brother Duff?
Yeah, Nate. Yeah. Nick's the original G.
Who won that?
Oh, Nick won. Yeah, Nick's a G. But there were points where he was tagging Nick, but where Nick's so durable, just took the shots and outworked him, and then Daley done some mad I don't know, just fell back when he was getting done. But no, that was a good fight.
Oh, alright then, well, I don't know much about it, but thanks for giving me a little bit about this thing. But when there's a next big thing, do you think McGregor is going to come back?
Yeah, no, definitely. He's definitely coming back.
Who do you think he'll be going to be fighting?
I think it would be crazy to come back and fight Khabib straight away, because Khabib will just do exactly the same thing. They should give him a fight where the guy's going to stand up, do what they've done in the earlier parts of his career, but they've not given him wrestlers. Don't give him a wrestler. I quite like the Donald Cerrone fight, because Donald Cerrone will stand there and fight with him, and then he's got the chance to use his hands. But if he's coming back to fight Khabib, yeah, bad idea. Better off fighting Nate.
What about Khabib? What's next for him, you reckon?
Which is his top boy, isn't he? So he'll just be fighting all the contenders. But no one's beating Khabib.
Well, age will beat him.
Yeah, age will beat him. And yeah, obviously everyone's got a puncher's chance, but he's he's too good at the wrestling. He just gets hold of you. And now he's starting to throw some hands as well.
He dropped McGregor as well.
Yeah, he dropped McGregor. But that could be his downfall. If he starts, trying to focus his game on that. That could be his downfall, but yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, he'll be back. Conor McGregor's spending that money, bro, for a bit,
Really?
Yeah.
I don't really follow him on Insta.
Yeah, you can see he's spending that money. But I suppose he's got the whiskey business, but yeah, he'll definitely be back. What do you think of Paulie Malignaggi doing that bare knuckle thing?
I think it's silly. The guy's so delusional in terms of, he's such a smart guy with, breaking down fights, but when it comes to himself, it doesn't make.
Don't make no sense.
It makes no sense.
You must be earning good money.
Yeah.
Showtime employ him, Sky Sports employ him. He must be getting. You can't be. You've had a long career as well. You've had big fights. You fought Broner, Amir Khan, people like that. You must be getting big purses. You don't need to go and get your. And he was never a big puncher either.
Yeah, and he's got brutal hands.
Yeah, and he's got brutal hands. He's like a tap. He's like a tap kind of guy. And then you're going to get these bro.
Good luck to him,
I worry for his health, man.
And last time I interviewed him, he just looked for he's in no fighting state. Good luck to him anyway. But anyway,
my guy.
Thanks for your time.